It was a cold, rainy night, and Sam was exhausted from working late. The empty highway stretched ahead, his windshield wipers barely keeping up with the downpour. That's when he saw her, a young woman standing on the roadside, drenched, her arm raised in a weak wave. Sam hesitated. It wasn't like him to pick up strangers, but she looked desperate. Against his better judgment, he pulled over and rolled down the window. "Need a ride?" he asked. She nodded, water dripping from her hair. "Thank you," she said softly, climbing into the passenger seat. She gave him an address a few miles up the road and sat quietly, staring straight ahead. Something about her felt off, but he couldn't put his finger on it. When they reached the address, Sam turned to tell her they'd arrived, but the seat was empty. He stared at the damp indent where she'd been sitting just seconds before, his heart racing. Confused, he got out of the car and knocked on the door of the small house. An older woman answered, her face lined with worry. "I'm sorry to bother you," Sam said, his voice unsteady. "I just gave a ride to a young woman. She said this was her house." The woman froze. "What did she look like?" she asked. Sam described the girl, her thin dress, her soaked hair, her quiet demeanor. The woman's eyes looked surprised. "That's my daughter," she said, her voice trembling. "She died in an accident on this road. 5 years ago." Sam staggered back to his car, his mind racing. As he climbed into the driver's seat, he glanced at the passenger side. It was completely wet.